Good day, how are you? Thanks for joining us on campus and welcome into Cronkite Sports Live. I'm Nick Batters, the man to my left. It's a new face at the anchor desk, but we're so glad to have him, Tyler Manion. Tyler, I have to be honest with you, this is the fourth show that I've anchored this semester. You're the fourth different anchor partner. Now I'm glad to say that you've gotten the call up to the major leagues, but I really hope you stick around and this isn't like a September call-up situation.
Nick, I got to stop you right there. I'm here for a good time, not a long time. This is probably going to be my only show. You're going to have to find another partner next week. Maybe you can get one of the old ones back.
Okay, that's
But
right.
I'm hoping for a good show.
Glad to have you here. Very glad to have you.
And you know who else has been a good show to watch?
Who?
It's Sun Devil Hoops.
True. After the two worst years in program history, it's really hard to ask for a better start to the ASU baseball season than what the team has done so far in 2019. Hunter Bishop is finally starting to play to his true potential. Lyle Lynn leads the Pac-12 in runs batted in, and 8 of the team's 12 pitchers have an ERA under 2. The Devils are a perfect 15-0 and have outscored opponents 161-45. Over our week off, they added Cal State Fullerton and Xavier to their list. Now, to better understand what we've been witnessing at Muni, we welcome in Jessica Cannavale to break down what ASU's done to this point. And Jessica, to put it frankly, after a pair of down seasons, especially last year for ASU, why has the team come out so strong this year? You talk about it, everyone's sitting over 300, but that roster size is a little smaller. The cap for college baseball rosters is 35 players, but ASU only has 25 on the roster. Only 24 have played this season. How has that affected the season so far? 15 wins in a row to start the season, really impressive. But tonight they face a challenge in a very good New Mexico State team that's hitting like crazy. They're 14-3 this year. And this weekend, Pac-12 play begins. They welcome Washington State to Tempe. So what can fans expect through Pac-12 play in the rest of the regular season? Pitching, hitting, always going to be important. Jessica, thank you so much for coming on. We appreciate your insight and analysis. Again, the Sun Devils this weekend are hosting Washington State, but tonight it's New Mexico State, 6:30 p.m. You can watch that game on Pac-12 Plus with our own Steven Cusimano, or if you want to follow all of Jessica's content covering the baseball team online, head over to cronkitesports.com and click on that baseball tab up at the top. Over this past weekend, Sun Devil softball went 4-1, thanks to, like the screen indicates, a little Mo magic. Senior outfielder Morgan Howe quietly led the team to a 4-win weekend. Why quietly? Well, Jade Gortaras went 7 for 14 with 7 runs batted in. Freshman Abby Anderson won 3 games, pitching 18 1/3 innings with just 2 earned runs allowed. Kendra Hackbarth hit for the cycle in just 4 plate appearances on Friday. Then on Saturday, Kendra's sister Maddie hit possibly the longest home run Club Farrington has ever seen. 5'5" Bella Loomis, ASU's number 9 hitter, went 6 for 13 in the 5 games with 12 RBIs and 4 home runs. But statistically, Howe still had the best weekend. Mo had 9 hits over 15 at-bats, a 600 batting average, including 2 hits in each of the last 4 games of the weekend. She drove in 7 runs and hit 3 home runs, including a walk-off against James Madison and a solo shot that nearly turned the tables against Michigan. After a successful ASU Invitational, the Devils hosted Lehigh last night, who they beat 4-1 on Saturday. Then again yesterday, Tuesday, 14-0. WCSN CJ Chairez was there, and he has more. Now, we're going to dive into one of my favorite parts of the show. It's This Week in Sun Devil social media, and for that, we bring in the Jose Canseco of Cronkite Sports Live. It's Mr. Jacob Rudner. Jacob, how are you doing?
My question for you guys, if you could combine to make a power coach of any 2 ASU coaches, who's it going to be?
Honestly, I have to go with the 2 guys that we saw right there. Tracy Smith doing unprecedented things with the baseball team this year, especially with how things have gone in the past, and Greg Powers. It's a really cool story. He played at ASU, he played club hockey, and now he's the coach of one of the best NCAA teams in the country.
Don't get upset at me because I hit you when I'm going through the right door. Go through the proper door, please.
Tyler's fired up about this. I'm
Sorry.
gonna go off your page, take a little further. I hate bad doors, like when you don't know if you should push or pull.
Okay.
Doors should be obvious. You should know when you're walking into a door if you're going to push it or you pull it. Like, am I crazy?
Guys, in all seriousness now, if you can only pick one of them, who's going on that all-conference team?
Doug Tamaro.
Great pick.
Doug Tamaro's on my all-conference team. One of the best SADs in the game. Chris Cartman would also be a good pick, but on a serious note, I'll go with Remy Martin. He's so fun to watch in the court. I mean, you're a better basketball guy than I am, though. What do you have? ASU wrestling is pretty good. The Sun Devils hosted the 2019 Pac-12 championships this past weekend, and while they couldn't three-peat as conference champions, there was still plenty of success on the mats. ASU had Pac-12 champions in 3 straight matches. Christian Pagdaleo won at 157 pounds, Josh Shields won at 165, and Zahid Valencia came out on top at 174 pounds. As a result, all 3 earned automatic qualifications to the NCAA championships in Pittsburgh later on this month. On top of all of this, Ryan Milhoff and Josh Maruko finished in second place at 125 and 149 respectively to qualify for NCAAs as well. Cronkite Sports has covered the team all season long and will continue to through Pittsburgh. Keep it locked at CronkiteSports.com to see what Zeke Jones and his squad do in a couple of weeks.
How do you think ASU Hoops does in Las Vegas this weekend?
I don't think they win the tournament. I think they'll make it to the championship game, but they're going to have a nice little ASU performance and fizzle out in that championship game. I don't see a way that they win the entire thing, but I think they make it to the championship. Honestly, I won't be surprised if that happens. Now, shifting to a team that's a little more consistent, ASU baseball entering Wednesday, a perfect 15-0. Do you think they stay perfect after the first weekend of Pac-12 play this weekend against Washington State? They struggled against Washington State last year. I think they're going to come back this year. I mean, you said the offense has been great, the pitching has been great, and I think that continues through this weekend. Next weekend's going to be a challenge with Oregon, but for now, I think they stay perfect.
What is the most overused meme on ASU Twitter?
That's tough. There are a lot of good memes on ASU Twitter.
Yeah.
There are also a lot of bad ones and some that are overused. There's one above my head right now. It's the one where you're slamming the button. Okay. And I think that's just used too much. I love the Sun Devil social media, the Sun Devil Athletics accounts, but I feel like they just use that in too many situations. I wish it was used a little less, and I feel like it's lost its value at this point. That's fair. I can tell you're fired up about this. Like, that's one of those things that you just see used, and it's another thing that's lost its value. It's been a long time since that's happened.
Troy, come on. You know who needs to win this. I need this win more than ASU needs to win in the Pac-12 tournament. Please.
More than ASU baseball needs to beat New Mexico State tonight.
Yeah, that'd be big.
Tyler Manion, that's one of the best The Way It Is readers I have seen in the history of this show. We were off last week, so we have top 5 plays in the last couple of weeks. We're going to start out at Club Farrington. Matty Hackbarth, holy cow, the longest home run I've ever seen hit in the history of ASU softball at Farrington Stadium. The longest home run Mark Jezik, the SD, has seen hit at Farrington Stadium. That was a mammoth 2-run blast that cleared the palm trees. ASU won that game. I couldn't do that. Softball is good for the brand, so we're going to go back to Farrington for play number 3. It's Morgan Howe. A little Mo magic with the walk-off. ASU is down 4-2 into the bottom of the 7th, and she won it with the second home run of the inning. Morgan Howe doing great things for ASU softball. While that won the game literally for ASU, it was this throw from Money Miles Denson. The tag from Sam Ferry. You have got to be kidding me. Skip said it after the game. If Miles Denson doesn't make that throw, we lose the game. We call Money Miles for a reason. The Bishop Gorman product, making all of Las Vegas proud. Look at that throw on the money. Sam Ferry, the perfect tag. That kept ASU's season alive, and there is nothing you can do to convince me otherwise. I am all on the Miles Denson hype train. Talk about money. This show, Tyler, absolute money. Glad that you were able to be here. This was fun.
Nick, this was an absolute pleasure. Thanks for having me alongside you.
Absolutely. We're going to be back here Friday next week. Join us. For Tyler Manion, I'm Nick Batters, and the entire production crew. We appreciate you spending a little bit of your Wednesday with us. But until then, enjoy the rest of your week.